Hey guys, welcome to the Unbrkn Society YouTube channel, and I'm your host, Rael. You clicked on this video to learn how to start accomplishing great things, gaining respect for yourself and from the people around you, and ultimately living a life that you want to live. As you've seen from the title, I have taken my fair share of L's. I honestly don't have it all figured out just yet, but I have done a lot of thinking of how I got myself into certain positions. I decided to be really transparent about my journey in order to give you advice so you can do the opposite of what I did and help you be that winner that you want to be. So the videos I post on this channel are like a diary of me becoming successful in my own life. I know what I'm doing is way more valuable than these fake influencer gurus telling you how easy it is to become a millionaire. So I decided to just show you the journey of actually putting in the work so you see the blood, sweat, and tears, time, and energy that goes into building something amazing. Just think of me as your homie who you know that's about to go do big things in life. And every time you click on one of my videos, it's just me and you having a quick little conversation. And I give you tips to make your life better because I know you're ready to get some motion too. So let's do it. So in this video, we're gonna hit 3 main topics. And number 1, my experience with feeling average. 2, how I recognized I was the problem to making all this bad stuff happen to me. And number 3, how I made a plan to live a life that I can actually be proud of. Make sure you stay tuned throughout this entire video because you're gonna get a lot of real advice if you actually pay attention. So just sit back and turn your listening ears on so this isn't another video you just sit back and watch and don't gain anything from. I grew up a shy kid who didn't do anything much but play video games.
Bro, come on, bro.
Like I remember in 3rd grade, or maybe it was 2nd grade, I started playing soccer for the first time. And that next coming season, I had the opportunity to play basketball.
Dude, in the cup.
I know I liked the experience of having friends, being part of a team, and growing with other people. But for some reason, when it came down for me to tell my mom that this is what I wanted to do, I told her, nah, I don't want to play anymore. And I remember going back to play Black Ops 2 or whatever other game I had at the time. Me making that small decision kind of impacted the rest of my life because I chose being an introvert and focusing on whatever kind of nerdy things I could find versus going out, connecting with the world, building social skills, gaining friends, and everything else you need to be a full functioning human being in society. Not that I was just some useless robot sitting there doing nothing, because I was really smart, I was funny, I had all these things, but I just never put myself in the world in order for the best parts of me to be seen. I remember growing up, I would only want the most beautiful girls in school. Now this may seem really random, but just bear with me for a second. Like I saw myself as the one who deserved the best. Like I dreamed of having the best cars, dreamed of having the best houses, the best women, all that stuff. Since a very young age, I had my eyes on the prize and I knew that's what was meant for me. And I remember my freshman year, it was in Spanish class and there was this dime piece. I almost said her name out loud, but let's just call her Tristan, right? But Tristan was this nice little Indian shorty on the dance team. Well, I was really had a little thing for her, I'm not gonna lie. And I told one of my other female friends about it, right? And she told me, I think you should lower your standards a little bit. Huh? And hearing that just sounded like the most ridiculous thing in the world to me because I know that I'm meant for this. This is what I want. But what I couldn't connect in my mind was I wasn't the person who would get that yet. I didn't have the game that I needed, the confidence, the experience, the status. Like I had a pot full of nothing, but I was trying to serve up this sauce like I was hot stuff. I had the belief, but I didn't put in the work. But this did kind of pay off thinking like this because when I got my first job at Walmart, there was this one girl in particular that the entire store fiended after. And when I say she was, boy,
Yeah, boy.
she was the baddest girl in the store for sure. And in my mind, I knew that's the one I wanted. I didn't want to go for anything else. Like I should have just been focused on working at a job, to be honest with you. But I decided to go for the gold, baby. And guess what happened? Boy, she was into you, dude. And I'm not gonna lie, in the beginning, I was still kind of finding my way. So I would flirt with her perfectly for a little bit, but I'd always do something to either piss her off or just, I don't know. Like I would always end up fumbling it little by little. But one day in particular, one of my homies at the job told me like she was actually really feeling me and da-da-da-da, but I just started, I don't know, doing too much. I decided to really go for it. And I was in the parking lot, you know what I'm saying, macking on a little shorty at work, get off break, or pull up to the parking lot, get all my shit, you know what I'm saying, give her a little, you you know what I'm saying, you know what goes on, and then go to work. Like, that was what I had going on with the baddest girl there. So I knew that that's what I was, in store to accomplish in this world, but I never put in the work to make that happen and maintain those relationships. And another thing about my upbringing, bro, I was always the last to get invited to places. I was that kind of friend. You know, when they're walking in the hallways, there's 4 people, right? Or let's say there's 3 people. These people on the left right here, they're talking, having the most fun in the conversation. No, there's 4 people. And there's the 3rd guy, and there's me over here. I'm always the one that's trying to butt in a little joke here and there, just there because I want to be a part of something. But really, I'm like the weakest link. Whenever I get into an argument with somebody else in the friend group, I'd be the one who just wouldn't get invited, and they'd go out and go to someone else's house and go kick it and like show it off on their stories that I wasn't there, and like FaceTime me like, oh yeah, we were having fun, blah, blah, blah. Why did you come? Like, I was that guy, bro. And I'm not gonna lie, it sucked because I couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong. And somehow I just knew that I was gonna be in that position over and over again. No matter what new friend group I was in or what kind of people I was around, somehow I always managed to be the odd one out. But a part of this problem was I always had beef with people, bro. I'd always start the arguments. I'd take things too seriously. I'd be overcritical. I'd take jokes too far whenever it's like we're roasting or something like that. Like, I was always so adamant on proving my stance because I'm a shorter dude, right? I'm 5'7" right now and I'm 19. So when I was growing up, I was pretty much shorter than almost all the dudes in my grade. So I always felt like I had to buck up or pipe up a little bit. Pipe up, pause. I always felt like I had to prove myself in certain situations so I wouldn't be looked at as some weakling pretty much. But the truth is, me acting like that made me seem weaker. I should have just been confident in who I was and loved my life, but I can't change the past. So I'm just telling this to you guys so you can kind of get an understanding of where I am and what I used to go through. And maybe you might find a couple parallels in my life and yours that you can just click on and be like, huh, maybe this is how I can make these changes to get my life looking like X, Y, and Z instead of ABC. But I remember there was this one time I was trying to talk to this girl, but she was not giving me the time of day. I was just chasing after her. I don't know why I kept wasting my time. But I remember like when I stopped talking to the girl, it was because she got mad at me or something, or I said something rude, and she told me, and that's why no one likes you. And now at face value, I started to just be like, oh, she's just saying that because she's trying to get me to feel bad about myself. But now that I think about it, bro, girls always ask about other dudes whenever they meet someone or try to start talking to someone. So when she's been asking people about, oh my God, what do you think about Trey, da 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 da. And now when she goes around and people are saying they don't like me, I always got some mud on my name, and it just lowers my power level in a sense. But just meeting a girl, you're up here, right? And she finds out you have like terrible past, I guess red flags, that's a great term to use right now. It just lowers your chances of succeeding, right? Little by little. I feel like that's the game I was playing with myself. Always being this cocky, explosive dude with a short temper. And I'm gonna go back to something I said a couple seconds ago about how I said I was trying to make myself seem bigger in order to fit in or seem tough, right? Looking back in retrospect or thinking about the past, that was my ego protecting me from feeling shorter and smaller and weaker than everybody else, but it was also hurting me because it showed everyone that I had something fundamentally wrong with the way I thought about myself. So it just came off in the way I acted, the way I spoke, and the way I treated people. I remember middle school always playing dodgeball, and I would get so mad if a girl got me out. I'd just go off. I'd start cursing, swearing, saying all kinds of crazy stuff because of how mad I was. It's not that I couldn't contain myself, but I just chose to just let it all out as my instinct gut reaction. The truth is, I learned that from my dad because he was that same way against me when I was younger. He'd call me all kinds of names and just blow his gasket over the smallest things. And I thought doing that was normal because my dad does it to me. So subconsciously, I picked up on doing it, not recognizing that's where that comes from. I'd get in certain situations, I just get so mad, I want to fight, choke, punch. I just get so angry over the smallest things. I couldn't really see that short fuse came from how I was dealt with as a child. And as messed up as it is, and no one really deserves that happening to me, that's kind of what my story was, but I can't really keep pointing fingers at everyone else at this point in my life because I saw that's what caused me to do that. And now I got a little bit older, I can actually make my own decisions. So when you find the root cause of a problem of something that you're doing in your life, you have to make sure that you don't just try to say, oh, this is the reason why this is going on in my life, or this is the reason why that's happening in my life. The best thing you need to do is just internalize it, learn from it, gain some wisdom, and move on and just make yourself better. And part of the reason how I came to that recognition is I had the same problem repeat in different areas of my life. Like, for example, when I was younger, I'd always get grounded. I'd get on punishment because I wasn't taking care of my chores, maintaining my grades or whatever, and I lose my Xbox for a couple months and I'd just be sitting there bored, not able to hang out in the house all day. It was actually a very depressing existence, if I'm being very honest with you. But I didn't know anything else other than that. Like, I was somehow okay with being the kid that was always in trouble, the kid who didn't want to do anything but play video games. Fast forward in my life, I had this opportunity to work with my mentor on building his organization, right? And my task was to run the social media accounts for the organization. I was so undisciplined, bro. I didn't post whenever I needed to post. I didn't make an effort to win at the opportunity that I was given, because I could have been getting paid, starting to have, a second job come in, making more income, being able to pay for my bills, save for a car, all this great stuff. But the reason why it didn't work is because I didn't have the discipline. And relating back to when I was a child, I would always keep getting in trouble because I didn't have the discipline to go do the homework or clean up the chores. Like, I let whatever fun things that were in my life take over maintaining my priorities. And when I start to see things like that, or situations where people were telling me like I have a temper, I have a bad attitude, things like that, it just made me realize that it's not just one person that's crazy telling me this. If I'm hearing from 3, 4, 5 different people from different time periods of my life that I'm having the same problem, there's something inside of me at the building blocks of my character that I have to fix in order to become the person I want to be. Because I don't want to be lonely. I don't want to be sitting in this house all day doing nothing. I don't want my only type of way of experiencing fun is playing a video game. Like, I want more than that. But in order to get that, I'm going to have to put in the work, make the connections, do some great things, and make my money. But another thing that changed my life a little bit was this book right here, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Who knows? But this book gave me so much game when I read it for the first time. And the reason why I bought this book is, number one, I started hearing about it on social media, but I read the book that my mentor from high school gave me called The Snowball, The Business Life of Warren Buffett, whatever. I put a picture of the book right here. So in that book, it says that Warren Buffett had the exact same problems when he was a child. He wouldn't really understand how to get along with the other kids his age. And I recognized that me and him shared a couple similarities. And the one thing he did in order to increase his communication skills was read this book. This book came out in 1936.
Damn!
So if it can help Warren Buffett become the man he is to do and become a great communicator, I know he's taking other courses and other things to develop himself, like I'm gonna have to do in my life. But I just saw that if it worked for him, he had the exact same problem I did as a kid when he read this book. I decided to read it too. And it just showed me that people are a lot more fragile. And even me, our egos and the way we perceive ourselves, we hold our beliefs and who we are very closely. And when someone comes and attacks or calls us out of our name, or say that we've been doing something wrong, or say they don't like something we do, it just makes a resistance. And that resistance makes people not want to be around you. Because let's be real, nobody in this world is perfect. But if you have someone that's always pointing the finger at everybody else saying, you're doing this wrong, you're stupid because of this, why do you wear that, why do you act like this, oh my god, blah, blah, blah. Bro, that's what I was doing to the world, and that's why the world was like, oh yeah, let's just go ahead and swerve around this guy, because the energy I was putting forth was just energy nobody really wanted to be around. So that's how I realized I was the problem for the main situations in my life. But now it's time to turn that, dial or finger back on you for a little bit. I'm not gonna blame you or put you down for doing anything wrong or causing yourself to be in any kind of position, because at the time when we make decisions, we do what we feel like was the best decision for us to make. And I don't want you to go and sit and regret things about your past or regret the person that you are, because that's not fair. You did what you thought was the best decision to make. And even if you thought it wasn't the worst decision, you decided to do it because you thought it would have worked out in your favor and it just didn't. But now that you have gone through all those experiences that led you here, you can make the conscious decision to do more and go out and do better. So one thing I'm gonna challenge you with is write down 5 main areas in your life where you struggle the most. For example, it could be you struggle with money, girls,
Daddy, chill.
maintaining friendships,
But I'm going your down, you better get him up hotel. On D, nigga.
looking good, whatever the 5 main things you struggle with, because everybody's journey is gonna be different. And everybody's journey is gonna be different. But once you have your 5 things, I want you to see in your past what has caused those things. And it may take some time. It may take an hour, a day, a week, who knows? But you need to sit down and literally get crisscross applesauce on the floor, close your eyes, and really meditate on this for like 30, 45 minutes. And really think about your life, because when you're living, walking around, hustling and bustling, you can kind of forget about the past. But once you choose to remember those painful things that caused you grief, or points in your life where you realize things weren't as good as you wanted them to be, you can learn so much from those moments. Like when you feel uncomfortable thinking about a memory, that's your sign to really focus in and lock in, because that's what's helped for me to recognize the problems in my life and try to improve myself.
Yo, what's up, guys? This is Rael in the process of editing, but I forgot to mention that you actually have to go and write this out. Like, go get a notebook just like I have. Like, look at my notebook, bro. Every day I journal something. Does not take long to go write down 5 things. Like look at these 2 pages. This is back to back of me just writing and getting my thoughts out. And I did this, I don't know, I sat down for 45 minutes and just decided to journal one day. You don't have to do it that long. It takes probably 3 minutes to think about 5 things. But you can just do a rough draft. You don't have to work very hard at it. But you need to write something down. Actually take action, because this video is going to be absolutely pointless if you don't do something about it. If you're so fed up about your situation that you'll watch a video about it and not actually write some stuff down to actually better yourself, you don't actually want to get better as much as you tell yourself you want to. So I had to say that. Make sure you guys get out pen and paper, pause the video, go write it, and then play the video after you finish writing down your list.
So once you have your list of things and a good understanding of where all these ideas come from, you need to put in order an action plan to change your life. So for me, my action plan right now, my main goal is to, number 1, be a very good communicator with people, read more books about communication, and be disciplined and completing what I have to do. So with this brand that I started, so today I had to record this long form video, and I have to edit these and post them tonight and write the scripts for some videos I'm doing this week. Me setting tasks for myself to do the day before keeps me consistent and disciplined, because the lack of discipline, like I said earlier, was my problem. So to combat that, I'm going to actively make the habit of doing the right thing, because your habits are so important in your life. The reason why your life looks the way it is because you keep these same bad habits and you don't nip them in the bud. You know what those bad habits are because you keep doing them, and every time you do it, you're like, oh, I shouldn't do this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Like, oh, I don't need to eat this cupcake, but I'm gonna eat it. Some moments like that where you feel that should I or should I not feeling. You know what the right answer is, and you need to have the discipline to go without that fun or that experience, that high, or whatever stops you from becoming the best you. You need to have the strength to just say no and live the life of virtue, because that's what's gonna get me. That's what's gonna get me and you closer to where we want to be. But when you make your plan, the main thing I want you to keep in mind is that you're doing this not just to win the day, but to end up making a life that you can actually be proud of. You want to build something. I'm not going to give you that bullcrap advice that just says keep your expectations low and make your success whatever you want to make it. You know where you want to be in life. You feel exactly where the places you want to go, the life you want to live, and the fun you want to have. Now, when you get to that point where you're able to do all those things, you may see maybe that is or is not the best path for me. Who knows? But we have to become the best versions of ourselves in order to have a fighting shot at actually living that life. When people ask about our journeys, we're going to talk about the changes that we're making, the actual process that we're going through, because it's us making these difficult decisions to become better and do greater things in life that is going to bring the life that we want. And it's not all going to come fast, just like I'm realizing this all just doesn't happen in one day. It comes with time. And you may not get all the way to your dream in a year or 6 months, but 6 months or 3 months or even 1 month actually putting your head into something, you'll get a lot further than you thought you could have gotten in a month. And that's what I want to do with this brand, because I just started all over on social media. I've been posting here or there on a couple of different accounts, but I decided the best way to do this is to start building a foundation of people who actually love the type of content that I want to make. And that's why I'm here with you, and that's what me and you are going to win, because we're going to find the best way to make ourselves the real winners that we want to be. But if you're that 1% of people who loves grinding and will do anything to make this happen, check out one of my other videos that pop up right over here so you can go ahead and gain some more wisdom from your boy. Every day, I'm going to be here changing and upgrading my life, and I want you to build yours with me. So I'm going to see you very, very soon. Make sure you subscribe and send a comment and let me know if this video actually helped you. But until next time, I'll catch y'all. Peace.